Good morning, everyone. As you start to come on in, the pick of this show with Nick Perro and Walter Rhein, and coming in late but on time, our good
Having
friend
all kinds of
Frederick Pogue.
What's up? Apparently, Substacks have issues this morning, man.
Yeah, Substack didn't want to put us on today.
No, I ain't. Well, it's like the first invite kept saying, I was like, well, I'm clearly in the lobby, and it's like you can't join the stream. I'm like,
Nope. They don't like us today. Substack is mad at us today. I think it's because I started posting a bunch of notes and calling people out, and I told.
I tagged him. I tagged him in a note too.
I know. I used some
Substack.
somebody. Oh no, not Substack, but there was a note I put out this morning. Since you're the king of notes. Let me get my.
Walter is the undisputed king of notes, man. Like, there's no doubt about it. Right? You know,
king of notes.
I thought I said I'm gonna make a go of this at one point. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to put up more notes. And I had some bangers, man, that took off. And I was like, man, I feel pretty good. I put out like 5 good notes today. And I look at Walter. He's like, yeah, I put out 50.
Like 500.
Write a piece, bro. Slow down. Let the rest of us catch up.
Yeah, man, stop stealing all the thunder. We can't keep up with you. Okay,
like, and they're all bangers too, right?
I love your little videos you do, Fred. Because I was experimenting with that for a while, and it just wasn't a good fit for me. I did it, and it was taking me too long to edit them down. So just do what you can do. It's all great.
I see. The secret is you have to be messy and not edit and just not care. Like my hair, when I go on lives, or it's like
just do it.
Like I'm on a dog walk, and I'm just like, I have a thought that I think I should express to the rest of the world, and sometimes it hits, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look at those, and I go, man, I should have kept that to myself.
Okay, so
my
kids
cut my hair the other day. I'm not getting a good look at it until now, but I let my kids do it. I'm like, we went outside. Yeah, it looks all right. I look presentable.
You're up.
Did you
shave your?
There might be some lumps.
Did you clean up your facial hair? Clean shaven again?
Did you? I did that today. Yeah.
Did you have
what for you guys?
Did you have the what was it? You remember the thing from what was it, the 80s or 90s with the vacuum? It's you put on. Yeah, it's like
the Great Clip style thing.
Yeah. And it's just like
we're more or less that. We just go outside and then they take a broom when I'm done and they just give me with the broom to wipe all the hair off. It's hard. It's a beating.
You're like a rug getting beaten.
There it is, the cold flow beat. It was called the flow beat. That's what it was called. The freaking flow beat.
Yeah, that's a invention right there.
Yeah, that's.
I can see. I picture Walter at his house. He's like, kids, go get the flow beat. Let's get the flow beat. They run into.
Can everyone hear me? I want to make sure everyone can hear us.
I can hear you, man. I can hear you.
Substack's been having issues. Let's make sure. Let's type. Try refreshing.
No. Okay. I can hear you.
Substack is having issues, so try refreshing. Yeah. I put it in the message. We have Walter Rhein here today. We have Fred Pogue here this morning. And I wrote a note this morning. I think it was this morning. I've been writing notes over the last couple hours and yesterday, and I was inspired by seeing you and Shane do it. Shane Urich do it so much, and you guys both do really well thought out notes. And so I started putting some out, and this morning I put one out that said, frame our values using the correct words. They mean shit, and it allows us to let go of right-wing narratives. It's being for popular progressive policies and using the correct terms. Let me show you. I am for guaranteed universal health care because it is pro-life.
Yeah.
This dickwad, Drockthwat, which already right there sounds like a dickwad, responded with sport. You're gonna have to express yourself better than with gobbledygook. I see where you'd like to go, and I agree with your sentiments. So I mean, obviously, I had to respond.
Well, let me just say something real quick. anytime you hit a note or any kind of sentiment that's like against like the established norm, you're just going to get flooded with these bot comments.
Mhm.
And I just disregard at this point. I can recognize like in
Oh,
two
yeah.
words if somebody is just evil or not. It's just I don't know what it is, but it's like the magic of just like bathing in words all the time. But every
Yeah.
time I write something that a lot of people get really, really mad, it's like, oh, that one was right. I'm right about that.
My,
The
my,
thing that pissed me off wasn't the comment. It was he called me sport. And
Yeah.
I'm not a 12-year-old boy playing
Yeah.
baseball or your son or the kid on the team. Like, I'm no sport. I went to fucking war. Like, I went to
Yeah.
combat.
Hey,
I'm a
sport. That's
combat veteran. I ain't your fucking sport pal. Like, go
like the
fuck
Great
yourself.
Gatsby.
So I responded and I said, this is not how you provide constructive feedback to a comment. However, I'm happy to show you how. First, being derogatory towards someone by calling them sport makes the rest of your comment meaningless. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming to my Nick Talk. And that was it. I was
Lauren.
going to say, it's like calling a woman girl or dear or
Yeah.
demeaning women in that way. But I was like, he's not going to understand that. Like that would go too far above the brain.
Oh, they know.
Like the two
They know.
brain cells rubbing together really wouldn't get that extra point. So I was like, I'm gonna make sure you understand I don't like you.
I
Did you
think
see
it's
what
worse.
Lauren wrote?
I think it's even worse than what you're saying, bro. Is like I don't think it's like calling a woman girl because you could be like, "Hey, what's up, girl?" or like that. I think it's like calling a woman toots. You know,
Mm.
I think that's what it is. I think it's that '70s
Yeah.
kind of
Babe.
hey sport.
Hey,
Like
babe.
yeah,
Like
or
walking
it's
up
like
to a
hey,
girl at work going, hey, babe, can you do this favor for me? No, you can get your
Yeah.
dick punched and go to HR.
yeah, it's and it's funny because you get these guys. Now here's the thing. I'm a veteran. I'm a disabled veteran, but I'm not like you. I've not been to the war you went to. I was in the war that Donald Trump went to, which was, I evaded STIs when I was in
Mhm.
my 20s. And that let me tell you, from the president's mouth, that's just like Vietnam. So in a way, I served in the GWAT just like you, according to President Trump, because
See,
I was chasing women around in a bar.
even
Oh
better,
God.
I've served in two then because I served that war too and then went to war. So in my
But
20s, both of them, I did both of them in my 20s.
it's funny with all these dudes, even if they're not bots, which they half the time they are.
Oh,
First thing I do, I go and check their post, and I go, "Oh, look at
Yeah.
that! You have no
Oh,
published pieces, or you have one." And it's like you're coming into me or one of my friends and telling us how we should
yeah.
think and how we should
Yeah.
write, and it's like, "What is your piece? Oh, it's nothing." Oh, okay,
Or they got
all right,
five followers and it's just sort of like, yeah, they're so patronizing to you. I've had one guy told me, what did he say? He was on me about my grammar, which was just sort of like, if you don't take your grammar seriously, and I'm like, who is talking to me like this? Because I was just writing, because I
yeah.
write my notes out just in lines, just so you can read them, so they're a little bit spaced out. I do
yeah.
that for readability. And somebody was like, "Well, that's not a poem." It's like it's not designed to be a poem. I'm just kind of orienting it so when people are scrolling through, they notice it, or
Did
just
I
like
say it was
highlighting. But
poetry?
yeah, this guy kidding me. It's like if you want to be a serious writer, I'm like, okay, guy with 5 followers. Like, it's a little weird.
It's like, let me show you my book that I have written.
Yeah, I don't know. I
I'll
get
tell you
Yeah,
around
when
to it.
I'm a
yeah, it's
serious writer.
well, it's I when I would put up poetry, there'd always be somebody in the comments that would go, I would do this to the second line, and I would do blah blah blah. And it's like, cool, you should write your own poem then. And
Yeah.
it's look, I'm not listen, I'm not trying to be a dick. I appreciate people that are awesome in their comments. Like I've
Yeah,
had people disagree with me and make very valid points. And I will say, I don't just reflexively hate on people that disagree with me. I'll tell them it's like,
yeah,
that's a valid point. Or I've had people disagree with me, like, you know what? I didn't consider that. You should write a piece on that. I will like and share it. And I have.
yeah,
I've had people take me up on an offer and write pieces,
yeah,
and I have liked and shared them. I've even cross posted some of them because it's like there are people that are very passionate about something, and I don't claim to know everything, right?
yeah.
Hmm.
And they will point something out to me. I'm like, you know what? I didn't consider that. That's awesome. You should turn that into a piece. But if you come and just do like, hey, sport, gobbledygook, but I agree with you, take your agreement and shove it straight up your ass, bro.
Take your gobbledygook and go find an erroneous train and just go fucking hammer it.
Like that kind of stuff is like, dude, like, I know you want attention. I know your life is
Yeah.
Like, just there are people here that leave amazing comments that obviously have thought through the piece. The other ones are the worst ones are like, the person that's like, I remember I put up the what was it, the two EOs that dropped for Trump with the cashless bail, right? And I did a video explaining it, and someone goes, he can't do that with EOs. I'm like, did you watch the video? Like, where I explain that? Like, just
Yeah.
You just looked at the title and you were like, nah, I'm gonna comment. It was like that person that I did that rant, 2 weeks ago, Fred, where they commented about how the three of us white dudes were talking and it was me, you, and Melissa Corrigan. And I was like, first off, there's a woman right there who's very, very clearly feminine presenting. Like, Melissa is a woman who looks like a woman. Like, if you're dumb enough, one, to think that our point, and then they're like, and then I stopped listening because you said white supremacy, and that's a fake Russian propaganda.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, oh my God, hold on. And then they kept fucking digging. They dug a hole so deep because they kept going, and they were like, and I'm a Ron Paul libertarian who is part of the Proud Girls, and if they would have me, I'd be a Proud Girl right now. And I was like, so you would be a biker gang beaten, abused spouse and proudly call yourself white trash, because that's what they think of them. Like, that's what they took the aesthetic of. I'm not saying white trash is bad. Like, I've lived in rural and very, very, very rural areas. Like, I know people of all economic statuses. I've been poor as fucking shit too. I was in the army. Do you think they paid us well? Do you think we made money in the army? Like, there were times when my wife and I were like, do we buy groceries or gas? And that was like decisions. Like, so these people just suck. And I was like, you would want to be a trailer trash piece of shit that's beaten and abused and willingly call yourself Marjorie Taylor Greene. And that's what you want in your life. You want to aspire to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Well, here's the thing with that is like, and this is, so I grew up in East Tennessee, right? So I'm like, if you've seen though, that it was famous a few years ago, the health fair where like everybody comes out of the hollers and they wait for like 2 days to get free dental care and free this, free that. That's in where I lived in East Tennessee. That's where that happens, is in Appalachia. And so I've seen poverty, like extreme levels of poverty, right? My father's side of the family is from Macon, Mississippi. I've seen extreme levels of Southern poverty. I've been around it. I've been amongst it, right? There's a difference between country folk and white trash, right?
Oh, yeah.
It has nothing to do with socioeconomic status. It has everything to do with the racism and the mentality. And basically, it's this lie of voting against your own self-interest, where you get these folks. It's the guy in the trailer with the Confederate flag that has 6 AR-15s, and he's on all kinds of disability and all kinds of stuff for the state. Or maybe he lives near the state line in Kentucky and Tennessee, and he's got, family over here, and he's claiming both from Kentucky and Tennessee. I've seen it, right? And here my ass, who's liberal and Democrat, who's working a job, who's working multiple jobs, who never took a dime from unemployment until the pandemic. That was because when I lost the job, I said, shit, man, I got laid off. Well, I got to do, I'll go find a job. And I would go work. But then I'd have these same people. Yeah, people don't want to work hard. No, brother, you don't want to work hard.
Yeah, you are the people. You are the people, dude.
And then they point the dirty finger at black folks and Hispanic folks who could outwork them like in 30 minutes. They couldn't hang,
Yeah.
Like, it's like, come on, bro. Like that. And so I want to make a clear distinction. When we talk about white trash, we're talking about those folks. We ain't talking about country folks. We ain't talking about poor folks.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But there's also an aspect of it too, where when you're growing up, there's all these stuff that kind of gets overlapping because you're growing up and you're like you're referred to that way, and then I've kind of like taken it. It's like, sure, I'm white trash. You just kind of say it and own it to like kind of destigmatize it or like take the edge off of it. So, but yeah, but what you were saying before, Nick, about being careful with our words, because and this is one of the things that always worried about me. Like you go into different spheres, and I like you guys. I know I've got a similar background to you guys.
Yeah.
But when I talk to people in the LGBTQ community or people in the Black community, I get kind of nervous because it's like a lot of things I've just been kind of
Well, you're
internalized, and I
talking
like
to
say to
someone
just
who's in the
destigmatize.
LGBTQ community, so you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, good. Well,
Yeah, you're already talking to
excellent.
one, so don't even
But
worry
I'm
about
always
it.
mindful. I'm just mindful of my own background, of like the things
Yeah.
that I say that are insensitive. I'm not aware of, and it's just like I get more nervous about it. But then you like throw out a word like white trash, and it's like, oh, I've called to myself that. It doesn't mean anything. Then you get into other spheres, and you're like, oh shit, I just made all these people upset, and that wasn't even something I recognized. So
No,
Yeah. It's internal biases and accepting that we have them and being willing to learn from them. And I think that's the difference. Is like, I'm willing to say the wrong word and have somebody call me out and then correct
yeah,
myself. Like I've corrected myself on lives where people have said stuff. Like that's the difference between us and the type of white trash we're talking about. Like we're talking about people who are blatantly ignorant and purposely bigoted because they can be and they want to be. Like that's the distinction. Like we may accidentally say something, but I'm willing to learn from it and then change my views. I've done it. Like I was in a fraternity in college. Do you think fraternities are really, really, really like pro LGBTQ or pro non-white to be in a lot of ways? There were words in that fraternity that I heard in front of Black people that were
yeah.
not appropriate.
Mhm.
Do you think I had to wrestle with internal biases to come to see who I am and accept like I need to learn? Like we have to be willing to accept that we need to learn too and get people to like see that they can learn too. Like it's cool. Like it's
But
cool to learn from that, but you can't just live that rigid, stupid fucking lifestyle of I'm gonna be purposefully ignorant because
That's
that's
the
what it
one.
is. It's
Deliberately ignorant.
purposeful
yeah,
ignorance. And
it,
that's where this kind of started was this response that guy gave me was purposeful ignorance. And that other person was purposeful ignorance too. Like, you don't want to be a proud girl. That
no,
doesn't sound fun.
and it's funny because even she said it herself is like, well, if they would accept me, sis, why do you want to be somewhere where they don't accept you, right? And 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 the other thing too is about you talking about words that matter, and we're talking about framing. We've talked about this before. Is like this is why history is so important. This is why understanding how we talk, how we address things is very important. Because when I say I'm not white trash, I'm country, right? My dad's side is very country, you know. But when I say country, you automatically think of white. Black folks, country as in a culture is predominantly Black. Country music, when they had a big kerfuffle about Beyonce or Lil Nas X being in
Yeah.
it, having a country album, where do you think country came from? It came from the
Mhm.
blues and gospel. Who was the culture that created those art forms? Black folks in the South. The food we eat is from overseas preparations. A lot of the foods that we eat, pork rinds, chitlins, greens with the ham hock, all that stuff, that was
Fried
prepared
chicken.
by slaves who ate that food because the white folks didn't want that part of the food. But then
Wait,
poor whites took that on and said, okay, and it
Yeah.
mishmashed with the culture. And so you say Southern, you say country. If you exclude Black folks from that contribution, you are excluding a big part of that culture.
yeah,
And
like
they're there today.
if you want to talk about white rural culture in a lot of areas, look at New England because
Right.
there was a much lower propensity of Black people who lived in there because we like Vermont. I lived in Vermont. I grew up in Vermont. It was growing up. One of the things I learned was we were the whitest state in the union. I didn't take offense to that, not because I didn't know black people, because we did. We had what we had like maybe three in my high school, three black kids in my entire high school. I knew black people existed. Like I knew it, like because we actually learned about our history because our state was like, we're white and we're kind of like there's some shitty things that white people have done, but we also have really good pride in the things that we did accomplish to get us here that were not shitty slavery. Like Vermont, we never participated in slavery. And we helped secure the Revolutionary War and stop the British from attacking in the North. Like we've done a lot of cool things and we're really proud of it. So we taught the bad parts of history too, because we weren't afraid to approach them. But there's a difference between like northern white culture that is rural and like distinctly hillbilly or country that is not the same as southern culture that we would associate with country or hillbilly or redneck. Like there's very distinct differences
Mm-hmm.
because southern culture evolved with both white, black, and Hispanic folks. Like it is a very multicultural culture. The white people just don't like to admit all the good shit came from not
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Protestant boring shit.
It's interesting,
Sorry,
isn't it? How,
Protestants. I like some of the things y'all done, like you helped found this nation, but like
yeah.
too
Are,
fucking bad. You're boring.
are you trying to say Puritans weren't going buck wild and like creating like culture that everybody can get down with?
Oh
Come on,
yeah,
man.
that. I mean, they did make like even things like fried corn. Like fried corn isn't a white thing.
No.
It became a white thing. It was a poor thing. And guess what? Most people who were poor were black or
Yep.
Hispanic. Then white people who were also poor took it and didn't appropriate it because because cultures evolve and we evolved it to be different things. So like we have
It's
to
And
like
isn't
admit
it
too there's
interesting how
evolution.
those exploitation cultures leave nothing? There's like no
Yeah.
trace. Like, and it's just really, it makes me afraid too. Like, as a person who writes, it's just sort of like how much of like our indoctrination of this society just makes anything you write just irrelevant, Because there's nothing that endured from like the Confederate South.
No,
There's the blues, there's all the things that the wonderful black community created. That's where the art and culture was. The Confederate South gave nothing. And it's just sort of
no,
like you have to kind of be aware of that. If you kind of allow yourself to dwell in hatred, it just makes your life insignificant. And
they're
your word before,
regressives.
deliberate ignorance is what causes that. So that's an important thing to
it's
call out.
it's people that so it's interesting, like you mentioned the Confederate South is like the state that sent the most people to fight on the side of the Confederacy was North Carolina, right? So most white boys, that fought on the side of the Confederacy came from North Carolina. The state that had the least amount of slaves was North Carolina. So you had poor white boys fighting for an institution and dying and getting injured for something they had no part in. And it's this worship of the power structures, right? It's this
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
this is what racism and sexism does. Oh, I have white skin, so I'm part of that power structure. No, you're not, fool. You're not in the
Nope.
club. You know. Oh,
Nope.
I have a penis, so I'm part of the patriarchy. No, you're
Nope.
not, fool. You ain't part of it.
Yep.
And your natural allies who would ally with you and
Yep.
actually help you get a leg up because you'd all be equal and you'd have access to opportunities for your children and your children's children that you never had because the power structure is closed off to you. You're not
Yep.
going to ally with them. You're not going to do anything with them because you think you're in the club. Donald Trump don't care about you. He don't
Yeah.
care. He don't
Fascists
give a
don't care.
damn.
We're all the
Fascists don't
cannon
care. It's a
fodder
circle
class.
of one. It's a
Yeah.
circle of one.
Well, like I said, it's just the way he sacrifices everybody and everything too. It's like how people can't recognize. Looking back in his past, there's not one person he didn't make a scapegoat of eventually. So I don't understand why people think I'm going to be the exception, but I guess
Yeah,
it's
Well,
not.
you're
it's
never the exception. But
everybody always has that ego in some form or fashion. Oh, it ain't gonna be me because I'm the main character and I'm special, right?
Yeah.
And it's
it's
just it's
interesting. Uh, Sorry to cut you off, Fred. Like you were talking about like culture and things that survived from early America and like Civil War times. What's some of our biggest things that we remember of American culture that have lived on in legacy? Mark Twain.
Hmm?
He's a white dude. He wasn't a racist, though. He had good ideas. He was a progressive. He had some flaws, and everybody does. Everybody has flaws and has times that they learn, but he learned and grew and made himself better and wrote about issues that were tough and wrote about issues that were salient to the moment. And he used words that were appropriate to the times and that were the right words.
Yeah.
And I want to like, I want to talk about that idea of like, what are the right words and how can we like start using them instead of
Yeah.
living
Yeah.
in fear of saying things to that right wingers have co-opted.
I think you were on it before. Like we just have to say, I'm in favor of universal education and universal health care. Because if we start, you get into like dividing things up, liberal, progressive, and all these other things. If you take that out of it and you just say, look, I just want your kids to have, access to healthcare when they're sick and to have it not bankrupt them. It's pretty hard to find people that disagree with that. But you're right. It's like everything is so structured. And when you have these conversations, the bots come onto your notes and
Mhm.
they try to divert it. There was this Ben Ulansey told me about it. It's called a thought terminating cliche, where they're so quick at like they divert and it's like those people that get in there with the well not all argument, and it's like instantly not all men. It's like, look, but you concede that some men are doing this. I'm not worried about the ones that aren't because
Mhm.
they're presumably okay with it. Let's keep the focus on the ones that are causing the issues. And that not all that's a thought terminating cliche. They divert it. So it's like we should be giving credit to the people that are doing not enough as opposed to keeping the focus on the people that are hurting the innocent. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things I have to combat
It's
all the
one of the
time.
things that I'm trying to take back the word pro-life because I'm tired of right wingers
Oh,
calling themselves
yeah.
pro-life. I'm tired of them calling themselves constitutionalists or even conservatives. Like the word conservative doesn't mean what they think it means. It means you have to
yeah.
be willing
Yeah.
to conserve something, defend and protect it, and support it, not fucking tear it apart. So
Well, the only
I
thing they
want to
conserve is
retake
their own wealth.
words.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
conserve mechanisms of oppression and the wealth of the elite. That's the only things that they conserve. So
Yeah.
that helps.
Yeah.
I,
And
I did a note a lot about reproductive health care the other day. Did you see that
yeah.
one?
No,
And that was the one where I'm just like, look, you got to stop talking like anti-abortion is a legitimate position. It's just sort of like we have to. It's like, listen, asshole, your position is causing women to die in terrible agony. So
Thank
fuck
yep.
you.
off. It's like
Thank you.
if
Yes.
you think that you're out of my life. That's how evil you are. If you're like if you deny reproductive health care, that's how evil you are.
This is a perfect segue before you jump in, Fred, because I heard this on the Find Out podcast, and I need to make this message very, very clear. And I need everybody in the audience to also participate in this. This is a audience participation event. This is
Yeah.
also going to be a uh, the host participation event afterwards because we can't use our phones while we're on here. The Find Out podcast put out a note. Specifically, Chris Goldsmith on the Find Out podcast noted something that is incredibly, incredibly important and ties exactly into what we're talking about: abortion rights and access to healthcare, and using the right words. The VA has a regulation proposal out that is open to public comment that
Uh-huh.
is a VA policy that would openly discriminate against female veterans or female presenting veterans by not allowing them to have access to reproductive rights, which would include abortion care.
Mm-hmm.
They are tearing at female veterans under the guise of abortion care to discriminate against our female veterans. If everybody has the opportunity today, I've already made a note about it too, but go to the Find Out podcast, watch the
Right.
episode that they have out today, and go click on the link that they have presented in the show notes. follow the advice of making a personal and meaningful message saying that you oppose this policy change because it will hurt people, and make it personal because it's going to get flooded
Yeah.
with bots and comments, meaning going in the right-wing
Yep.
direction. And if we do not flood it the other way, the Trump administration is just going to go, well, there were more comments saying this way, so we're just going to change the policy.
Yeah.
No, we have to. This impacts my family directly. If you are one of my subscribers, which I hope every single one in this audience is either my subscriber or one of the other two on this audience, please subscribe to all of us. Go check out Find Out Podcast. I will link it in my show notes too to make sure the link is there. They're discriminating against women in the VA to test it, to see if Americans will respond to taking veterans' rights away. If we do not respond now, they are taking yours next. I am not scaring you. I am not fear mongering. That is what is happening next. If you do not stand up now, because I stayed quiet until they came for me, is what you are doing. If you do
Yeah.
not write and comment on this policy proposal will hurt women veterans. It will then hurt all of the rest of the women in this country, because women veterans are a test case for the rest of the women in this country. Speak up now or forever hold your fucking peace. I will post the link, Sonny, in the show notes so that you have it, so that everybody has it and it can be easily clicked. I will share it. I will make sure Banner and Backbone shares it and talks about it. I'm going to talk about it with Ken Harbaugh on my next live. So please, at 11:30 Central Time, join Frederick Pogue and I with Ken Harbaugh. Midas Touch, Valor Media Network, also an incredible advocate for the veterans community. And we're going to bring this up too. Friends with Chris Goldsmith, they have spoken about this. Women are under attack, and I want to talk about that, like specifically in how we frame this in our language. And there's a reason I'm saying they're discriminating, because that's the right word. They're discriminating against women. They're not protecting fetuses or anti-abortion laws. They're discriminating against women. They're discriminating against my wife. They're discriminating against my sister-in-laws. They're discriminating against my cousins. They're discriminating against all of the women who have served this country so honorably. If you value your rights as a woman, I would suggest speaking up. Men, if you value your wife's rights, if you value your daughter's rights, if you value your mom's rights, if you value your own fucking rights, speak the fuck up now or let fascism happen. It's that simple. It's the same message as you better be calling your fucking representatives every month. At least you better be calling them every week at this point. And I'm not living up to that standard yet either, which means I have to grow more. So we're in this together. Let's fucking do this. So after I get off these shows today, I'm going to be commenting, and I'm going to comment every day. It's open for a week. They slid it in here and it's open for a week. We need to blow those comments up with meaningful stories that are not copy paste, that are meaningful, and that say, you do not agree, you dissent with this policy. Sorry. Not sorry. I am not sorry I brought that up. I needed to take over this part of the conversation because it was a perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
Fred, I want you to jump in wherever you want on that too, or Walter, because I think this is super important because it hurts my family.
Hey,
Go, Fred.
I think I think discriminate 2 points. I think discrimination isn't enough of a word. I don't think it's strong enough. And I don't think it's an attack on women. I think it's an attack on everybody. It's an attack on, it's just women are the next target because they start, now remember, they started this with transgender care with transgender veterans. That's how it started, right? And we were sounding the alarm then.
Taking their retirement away.
Well, yeah, it's like it's so they went for the transgender were first, right? Then they just said, okay, we're going to go after the woke and the DEI, and we're going to try to erase minority voices and minority experiences. And then we're going to, we might target like radicals and Democrats and this. Now we're up to women. Okay. We're
Pretty quick
next.
too.
We're next. This is an attack on all veterans, and veterans are the canary in the coal mine because they're going to take this blueprint and they're going nationwide with it next. It's not going to stop at us because we're the ones, we are the small demographic that is vocal and will stand up to this kind of crap, right? The next step is nationwide. You saw this, it was LA first, Washington, D.C., Chicago, and multiple cities are next. Yeah. This is absolutely the fascist playbook, right? So here's the thing. I don't give a shit if you don't care about women. You want to be the biggest freaking misogynist in the world? Fine. Guess what, partner? They're coming for you next. They're coming for you.
Yeah.
I don't care what gets you there to stand up for women and transgender people, even if it's just to save your own ass.
Yeah, if it's selfish as that, you better save your own ass because you're not on their list of happy people. It's a list of one, and that one has the name Donald John Trump. Everybody else around him is equally expendable in his mind. Every single one of us. The guy who wrote the poem, "Then They Came for Me," when he said that, he was a Nazi.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And I think a big part of this too is we have to adjust our activism. We can't just react to what they're doing. We have to go bigger, and we have to make it our objective what we really want. And that objective has to be, and we just see how many ways our thinking and our activism has been muted. Like people will say, now's not the time or the place to talk about this. It's always the time. It's always the place. And we always have that idea. It's like, well, that's our grandma or that's our grandpa. We have to accept the way they think. Fucking no. If they are standing for women dying in parking lots, they're evil fucking people. If I ruin Thanksgiving to convey that to them, that's fine, because I do not want to be an enabler of these women who are dying in parking lots because people think, and they've been brainwashed into thinking, that it's an acceptable political position to torture women to death. It's like, that's not acceptable. And like you were saying before, we got to take back the phrase pro-life. Well, it's because we keep surrendering in advance, and we acknowledge it's like, okay, we're going to debate this. I'm not going to fucking debate it with you people because your position is evil. And that's it. Every woman needs to have access to reproductive health care rights. Anything other than that is just a monstrous thing to even it's beyond the realm of what can be discussed. And once our whole society recognizes that, people will stop tabling these god-awful policies that end up with our, so many people tortured to death in terrible pain. So that's what has to be fixed. We got to go big.
No, it's they've already done it with the big, beautiful murder bill. They just delayed the implementation because they knew there'd be a freak out. They've already done it. They've already done it with repealing Roe v. Wade. They're going, Obergefell is going to be next.
Yeah.
It's like,
never going to stop. It's never going to stop.
That's fascism and authoritarian. Don't say, we've oppressed people enough, right? They keep going and keep going and keep going.
All right, guys, I'm going to actually have to end this live early. The VA is calling me. I have a doctor calling me. That's a good thing. Thanks, y'all. I'll see y'all again soon.
Thank you.
Bye.